Good afternoon. Good afternoon to you all. Good afternoon, whoever is joining in. Good afternoon to this first call. So, in this first call, we are streaming live on Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube. We're streaming live on Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube. And in this first call, well, first of all, welcome to this new series, my new series of conversations and information. My name is Ankweta Beatrice Achaleke, and I am the serial author of the Africa for Smart Kids book series. I am the publisher of Globuntu Books, and very recently, I am trying to add something to my title again. So recently, if you've been following me, you will realize that I have been living in South Africa for the past 7 years. Before then, I lived in Austria for 20 years, and before then, I lived in Cameroon, where I was born for 24 years. So you can start calculating my age, right? So recently, I moved from SA to Sao Tome. South Africa is still in my head. I moved from South Africa to Sao Tome and Principe, and quite a lot of people have been asking questions about where this is and what I'm doing here and what I'm up to and all of those. And I thought I should set up a series of calls. I should set up a series of calls just to answer some of those questions. And this is the first of those series of calls. And every Friday, I will be coming on. So if you have any questions about Sao Tome and Principe, you have any questions about the things that I'm doing here, are you wondering where that is and how you can get here? You can always join the call on Fridays, and we will be live. I will be live answering all your questions and providing you with information. So again, we're streaming live on LinkedIn, Facebook, and Instagram. No, not Instagram. LinkedIn, Facebook, and YouTube. That's what it is. And I see you joining in. I see you, Sandra Mabene. Welcome. Thank you for joining in on LinkedIn. And Dr. Alicia, this is our youngest Globuntu Books author, all the way from Jamaica. Happy birthday, young author, and I hope you're having the time of your life in Jamaica. I'm happy to have you here. So, having you here means that we should get on with the questions. So, if you have any questions that you want to ask, please use the comment box. I can see comments from LinkedIn, from Facebook, and from YouTube. I can see them right here in the studio, and I can pick your answers or your comments and then react to them. Okay, so that said, let's go quickly to the essence of this call. So, quite a lot of people have asked me, why Sao Tome? What is it about Sao Tome that took you from South Africa to there? What is it about it? Now, I don't want to pretend to tell you that I'm an expert in Sao Tome and Principe. Not yet. I plan to be. But before then, it is a very tiny island. It's a twin island that is located in the Atlantic Ocean. It is an archipelago, which is some geography books say that it is a part of the the chain of the Cameroon Mountain. It is located in the heart of Africa. I say in the heart of Africa. I will not give you all images here, but I will challenge you to go Google so that you can find out more information, more than what I'm trying to share with you here. But it is a very interesting country for the fact that it is in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean. It is it is the country that is closest to the Green Meridian. Is the country on Earth that is the closest to the Green Meridian, and it is a country that is very, very diverse in terms of its population. It's a country where people speak Portuguese, and what I love about this country so far is the fact that people are just down to earth. You meet the prime minister in the evening walking on the street. You can meet just anybody. Just 2 days ago, the first lady knocked at my door and walked in. I mean, in which country in the world does the first lady knock at your door and just walk in to say, I'm saying hello? So that is what it is in Sao Tome. It's a small country. It has less than 250,000 people as a population. It is surrounded by the Atlantic Ocean. And here there's a lot of bananas and plantains and a lot of tropical fruits. And people speak Portuguese here in Sao Tome. So you will ask me if I speak Portuguese. No, not yet. I'm learning. And those of you who know me, or my daughter who knows me best, she tells me that I love to challenge myself. So when I left when I left Cameroon and went to Austria, I had to learn German. And you will believe me, German is not a very easy language to learn. It isn't. But I had to learn, and I mastered that language. So I could write books, and I could lecture in that language. Then I moved to South Africa, and it was a short break. It was a short break because in South Africa I could use English. So I dropped from German and started repolishing my English. That's a country that gave me the creativity to write 25 books in less than 6 years, and 15 ebooks, and to groom my first Globuntu young authors. And Dr. Alicia is online. She's one of those authors that I met on my journey to South Africa. So South Africa was a very creative space for me. And because I love to grow, I just love to challenge myself. I needed a new space. I needed a new space after COVID to kind of see what is in store in me that I still have to discover, that I need to kind of unleash so I can better serve the world that I'm in. So the most logical place that came into mind, well, not logical, but it's a place that I have been looking at for quite a long time. In January, it just became apparent that I will move, that I want to move. So I moved to in March. In March, on my birth month, I made the first trip to Sao Tome, and the place was so receptive compared to all the other places that I've been to. People are receptive, people are open. It's easy going, and there are not too many cars around. And I think I was I have been kind of dehydrating. I needed water so badly, even though I don't swim. I'm not a swimmer, not yet, but I needed water so badly. And I did not know how much until I came to Sao Tome. And now the ocean is just in front of the door, and I can walk out every morning and just sit there and watch the sunshine, watch the play of nature between the skies, the sun, and the ocean, and just meditate and contemplate about life, the essence of life. What am I doing here? What am I doing on earth? And what else must I be doing? And so that's what makes this country so incredibly powerful for me, so incredibly beautiful. So beautiful that I thought I would love many more people to be able to experience, because it's an experience that you have to make. Sao Tome is not a country that I can describe to you. It is an experience that you have to have. And so, based on my experience and how I like it, but mind you, in Sao Tome, there are not many cars. The city is very small. If you're a city person that loves to just have all the bustle of the big cities in your space, then you're not right here. But if you want to withdraw and just have that space where you can reboot, where you can not just reboot, you can declutter your life, you can reflect. After COVID, we all so much in our lives has become obsolete, so obsolete that we need to declutter it so that we can redefine the purpose of our lives and the things that we want to do, and probably declutter. Some people, we've lost them along the way, and some of them are still stored in our cell phones. They are in your contact list, they are on your social media, and they're no longer here. So sometimes we need to declutter our spaces so that we create a space for new. And so Sao Tome is the absolute place where you want to come and withdraw from the rest of the world and find that space where you can zoom into inside of you and find out who you are becoming after COVID. I hope that COVID is over now, or is getting over. So who are you becoming? Who are you becoming? And how can you unleash that person that you're becoming so that you can serve better? Sometimes we just need to step back one step or two, so that we can do that inner work and then reboot and then go out to the world. So I've designed a couple of retreats that are out for you. If you want to know more, the link is on the description box of this call, and it takes you to where you can register. For now, there's a retreat coming up in August. It's a 7 days retreat where we do we focus on 3 activities. One is just getting you here and and helping you to take that break from life, the life out there. Take the break, whether you're at the beach or whether you just want to walk through the rainforest. And the rainforest here is just incredible. I haven't seen anything like that anywhere. Or whether you just want to sit on some of the natural swimming pools, some of the natural swimming pools that you'll find here. They're just at every angle. So we want to get you here. And the next thing is we want to get you into some of these morning activities where we guide you, where I personally guide you using the tools that I developed on my journeys from Cameroon to Austria, from Austria to South Africa and to Sao Tome. Along that journey, I have to constantly do some decluttering. I have to do a lot of inner work and a lot and a lot and a lot of affirmations. So this is what we're going to be working on if you join the retreat. But if you just don't want to do the inner work, you just want to have your peace of mind, you can have that. But I think you have it better if you join the retreat and you do some of the work so that by the time that you return, you have dumped some of the baggage, some of the garbage that you no longer need. You have dumped them into the big ocean, into the Atlantic Ocean, and you can go back lighter, more focused, in with more serenity and with a sense of purpose of what it is that you want to do in your life. So that is about the retreat. It's a retreat that would allow you to declutter and reboot so that you can be your best self. You can tap into your next masterpiece, as I normally say. So that's one of the things that we do. Here, food is very organic. There's a lot of fish, of course. And there's something here that I love. There's a lot of small spaza shops. And I go to the street side or to the market and buy my vegetable straight from the farm. It's not like you have to go into the deep freezer in a big supermarket to get your food. No, you can get them from the vendors. And it is really still very organic. And someone asked me about the culture. What the culture here is a mixture of Portuguese and African, because the main language spoken here is obviously Portuguese. And the culture is very rich. It's very rich because, again, you meet a diversity of Africans from different African countries on this small island. And the weather, it's always hot. So when I left South Africa, it was getting really cold, and I had to leave behind my fan. Not that I could put it in my suitcase anyway, but I left behind the fan. And the moment I hit on Sao Tome, the first thing that I needed to buy was a fan. Get a fan, because otherwise it's always hot. You can see I'm sweating even though the fan is on and the aircon is on. It's a very warm place. Now is the dry season, and there is something very special about this country that surprises me, is the fact that in the rainy season, it is hotter. I was here in March, and it was a rainy season. It was incredibly hot, and I was sweating like anything else that I've never seen. And now it's dry season, and the weather is kind of cooler than it was back then. And so it's a place that is always warm. When you come here, I mean, in August, if you come here or you come here, we have another retreat in December. So if you're coming in December and you're coming from the cold weather in Europe or from the US, you can just put in your swimming suit and leave behind your winter jackets and everything that reminds you of winter for as long as you're here, because it's going to be warm. And so you can really have a good time. So someone asked me about the people. Again, the people are very kind. The people are very open. I've lived in Cameroon. I lived in Austria and in South Africa. My good friends in South Africa, they know how much I cherish them. But there's nothing compared to Sao Tome, where people are open. Let me give you an example. When I was here in March, I was out and I dropped my phone on the street. And I went 30 minutes after I realized that I did not have my phone. So I asked my sister friend, Dr. Maria Das Neves, who was the first female prime minister of Sao Tome. She's an incredible woman, an incredible big sister that I found here. She's just there for me, and she babysits me. And I'm not used to being babysitted, but it feels so good. Well, so I dropped my phone, and then when I met her, I was with her 30 minutes after. I said, I can't find my phone. Can you please dial my number? And she did, and behold, someone said, I picked this phone on the street, and I have been waiting for the owner to call. Please, I am at this address. Come and collect your phone. And I mean, coming from South Africa, that was something very strange to me. It was something very strange. I went and collected my phone, and it's not like this person was asking for a ransom. No, this person was just kind and happy that the owner of the phone could come and pick and collect it. And so that is Sao Tome for me. Another small example before we move on. I go into a restaurant and I have my lunch, and after that, I want to pay, and I realize that I forgot my purse in the hotel. So I was like really embarrassed, knowing what could happen in some places. I walked up shyly to the waitress and I said, I'm sorry, I forgot my purse in the room. Can I leave my handbag with you? I'll go collect my purse and come back. She looked at me and smiled and said, No, you go with your bag. I don't want to take care of your bag. You will come back. And so I walked to my hotel. It took me 20, 25 minutes. I came back and I paid. So that is Sao Tome again for me. And last night, my sister friend, Dr. Maria Das Neves, and I, we were just taking a ride by night. And she showed me along the street and said, That's a former prime minister walking on the street with his wife. It was 6 p.m. in the evening. I mean, you know how some of these political leaders can be in some countries, the kind of protocol that they have around them. Again, this is the simplicity of this island. You can meet anyone just anywhere, and there's just human beings. They're human beings, and you can talk to them and you can interact with them. So this is one thing that makes Sao Tome so unique for me, and that's why I chose to be in this country. And I am so looking forward to my next chapter here. So it's still unfolding, and I don't know what it will be, but I know it will be really, really exciting. Now, one more question that someone asked. Again, please use the comment box and share your questions or whatever it is on your mind. Dr. Alicia asked, "Do you have hurricanes?" I haven't seen one, doctor. I haven't seen one. I don't know. So I have no clue. I will have to do some research so that I can answer that question sometimes. Oh, I see Elizabeth is online. Better. This is my landlord. This is the incredible woman who hosts me in her house. She's hosting me and I'm living here, and she makes sure that I have everything. She checks on me, and this country is just out of this world. Elizabeth, I don't know whether you're in the office or you're next door. I greet you virtually. Good afternoon. Boa tarde. I'm learning Portuguese. So use the comment box, as I said, to ask any questions that you want to ask, and I will be happy to fill you in as much as I know. So one other questions that people have been asking is, what was the sole reason for me creating the retreats? And what can people expect? What inspired me? Again, we have gone through the pandemic, and so much has become obsolete in our lives. Our vision, our programs, maybe the missions that we set up for ourselves, our business has probably run down. I hope not, but some businesses have run down. Some people have been retrenched. We have seen people go for the first time in our lives. We have not been able to take our loved ones to the grave. We have had to distance ourselves, wear masks, and do all the crazy things that we never thought that we would do. And all of that has brought a lot of change in our lives. And we can't pretend to want to live as if nothing has changed, as if we were still back then in 2019. And so this is the reason behind the retreat. I have been doing a lot of decluttering. I have learned a whole lot about myself, and I have let go a whole lot of things that I held onto before the pandemic. And letting them go gave me space for many new things. Had I not let a whole lot of things go, I wouldn't be in Sao Tome right now. Had I not let a lot of things go, I wouldn't have written the books that I've written, and I wouldn't be talking to you right now. And seeing how much that does to me, I thought like it could do good to some other people as well. And so this is the inspiration behind the retreat. And mind you, I never offer you anything that I haven't tested on me and seen the result. And so I have done a lot of retreats by myself, and they have really helped me to laser sharpen my vision, to let go the things that are no longer serving me, including some people. Sometimes we have friends, and we grow out of our spaces and out of our relationships. And when we stick onto them, we either become unsatisfied, we become sad, we wonder why we're working so hard and we're not getting the results that we know we deserve. And we are getting into trouble with people that we love and respect, and we're wondering why. It's probably because we have outgrown the space, and sometimes we need to let go. We let go people. I tell you, in 2014, I had to let go of my kids, and these are the most precious gift that I have. I had to let them go when they were just 11, and 12. Today, when I look at them, the young, incredible people that they have become, had I not let them go and had they not let me go, we wouldn't be the people. I think we would be fighting a whole lot and we would not be understanding each other. And so, when you let go of people, you let go of spaces, you let go of experiences, you let go of circumstances, you liberate yourself and you make space for something new. So this is the experience that I have made. And so when you join the retreat, you join our Follow Me to Sao Tome retreat. This is what we share with you. These are the tools that we give you. We show you the things that you could let go, give you the tools that could help you to let go without regret. We give you the tools that would allow you to move forward. And we affirm you so that you can step into your next masterpiece. So this is what the retreats are about. The retreat series is growing. There will be time when we'll be bringing in some more experts, like some yoga experts. We'll bring in nutrition experts, and so that when you join the retreat, you really get yourself into a space where when you leave, you will never be the same as you came in. That I can guarantee you. So you want to watch out for the rest of the retreats. So let's see. Please use the comment box, or if you're on Facebook, on LinkedIn, or YouTube. We are streaming simultaneously on those 3 platforms, and I am here to answer all your questions. Whichever question it is, please just drop it. So the next question that I have had is, there is a ladies retreat coming up in August. What next? What is next? What else is on the agenda? Where the August retreat is coming up, and there's one that is tentatively in the planning for November, and this is where we're bringing in a nutritionist. The food that we eat and the way we cook the food that we eat determines the state of our well-being. The food that we take home in our grocery bag and the food that we have in our fridge and the way we prepare it is our pharmacy. It's your pharmacy. So sometimes we get so overwhelmed, especially when we're juggling so many things. We are working parents. We're traveling everywhere. We are now parenting from home and trying to and trying to work at the same time. So sometimes the least thing that we pay attention to is the thing that is so important. It is our nutrition. Sometimes we need someone to tell us about what to eat so that we can stay healthy. Just like we need a doctor to tell us how our body is like, the state of our body, we sometimes need a nutritionist to help us understand our eating patterns and how they affect our health. And health is the greatest capital that we have. Your health is the greatest capital. You can earn more money, you can build more houses, you can have many bank accounts, but your health, if your health is not good, if you're not good with your health, you can't do some of those things. And when your health is angry at you, it drops you, and that may take you to your last station, which is the graveyard. That's not what we want. That's why in our retreat we build in people who are experienced in nutrition, experts who can help you really know how to have a balanced diet and how to prepare your food so that you stay healthy and live longer. So you want to watch out for those retreats. Again, we'll be having this series of conversations, and you can at any one time, and we'll be sharing information when the retreats are ready. If you are on our Facebook page, Follow Me to Sao Tome and Principe, you will find this. We will upload this programs, this retreats there when they're ready. So you want to watch out for that space. We're not just only doing retreats in Sao Tome. There is another bigger agenda that is up and going. I don't want to share that now. It will be in another video. So for now, today, we're just talking about the retreats. So another question was, tell us more about the retreats. Well, I think I just shared that already. We have a retreat coming up in August. The link is below. You check the date. And the program is also, when you check the date and you go on the registration website, you will also see the lineup of the activities that we will be doing during that retreat. So I don't want to bore you right here, but I want you to be proactive. I want you to take action. Go on the website because you'll find a lot more information. Okay, I see Abigail is joining me in the studio all the way from Imo State, Nigeria. All the flyers that you see on our pages, this is the face behind the flyers. Abigail is an incredible graphic designer, and she does all the designs for us. And and Sandra does the branding. Sandra is not here today. She should have been joining us from Kenya, but we can have her here. But I'm happy you're in, Abby. You're in, and the show is on already.
Thank
So,
you.
so how is it like in Nigeria today?
Oh, it's really hot, really, really hot. And I was rushing up to meet up with the stream. So I'm happy I'm here now. Sorry I'm a bit late. It's just a lot of things. How have you been?
Good. The stream is going. So answering all the questions that have been sent to us through emails and through the different social medias. And
Okay.
we do have an audience online. I'm just going to put this up so we see who is here. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. And this is all the way from Jamaica. And this is Elizabeth just next door. This is my landlord in Sao Tome. I'm happy that she's in. And oh, Sandra is saying, wow, Sandra, check and find out. Sao Tome is waiting for all of us. And again, this is a beautiful place. Um, Abby, what is on your mind?
Yes. First of all, I'm so glad about this. Everything about Sao Tome is amazing because when you told me about it, when I heard about Sao Tome, well, I've heard about Sao Tome, but I didn't really know much about it until you spoke about it. And then I went on to do some research and I said to myself, wow, we have such a beautiful country on the continent and just we don't have a lot of people. We should have thousands of tourists going there because looking at the landscape, the forests, everything is so natural. And so yes, being on this whole team and now getting to know that we have retreats in such a beautiful destination, I'm really excited about it. So I'm glad we have some audience, people in the audience, but I also would like to know more because you're on ground now, and I wish I were in your shoes because it's just a lovely environment, and I'd love to be there. Yes, so I just want, I don't know what questions we've been asked yet, but I know we've also had some, with all the flyers we've been putting out about the retreat, some people have also wanted to know, why Sao Tome? There's so many other countries on the continent. Why are we looking at Sao Tome in particular? What is that different thing that Sao Tome has to offer compared to other countries on the continent? So we'll be glad to know
So
about
we
that.
have covered that. We've covered
Okay.
that, just not to bore, kind of those who have been in. This
Okay.
video will stay on stream for people who can get there. I think we were at the question. We assembled the question. We are at question 4 right now,
Okay.
where we're talking about the cost and the accommodation and transportation and that. So that's where we are right now.
Okay.
Talking about the transportation again, Abby, I think you were very curious about you
Yeah.
someone raised a question and you raised it as well. How can people get to Sao Tome from their different locations? Now, well,
Patience.
again, because this is, I call it the jewel of Africa. And by the way, in the past, in the past, far past, the people used to call the Sao Tome the jewel of the ocean, the pearl of the ocean. It has been called the jewel of Africa, and it's just incredible. It has to do that. And by the way, Sao Tome was once the world's greatest producer of cocoa and coffee. So when you walk around, you see a lot of coffee and cacao and cocoa plantations. It's a very fertile island. Almost everything grows, and sometimes you wonder. I keep telling my sister, Dr. Maria Das Neves, that I have the feeling that there are more plantains, more trees on the island than human beings. So I was saying that to get to Sao Tome is not really. It's you have to be creative. You have to want to come here, and that's the advantage is when you're here, you're like away from the bustle of the big cities. You're really away from all the the decadence. I call it the decadence of the world. And so getting here, there are a couple of airlines that come here. You have to come here. You can come here through Air Portugal. They call it TAP. I think it comes here 3 times in a week. You can come here through TAC. That's Angolan Airways. It comes here 2 or 3 times in a week. I have to reconfirm the information. During COVID, a lot of the itinerary changed, and so it's being updated right now. And then you can come here with Sabre, and I'm extremely happy to say you don't have to go search source for this. Um, uh, our partners, our travel partners, we have 2 travel partners. There is STP Tours. It's owned by my landlord, Elizabeth Carvalho. She is the event queen on this island. Every event that goes on this island, big and small, she has her mark on it. And she's just an amazing woman. She has a travel agency and she does all the ticketing. So if you're interested in joining the retreat, all you have to do is register. All the information on registration is on the page. You can reach us on WhatsApp. You can reach us via email, and you tell us which retreat you want to join, and we'll send your contact to Elizabeth, and her office will get in touch with you and do your ticketing. You don't have to do that. We also have a second travel agency. This one is that of the First Lady. Yes, the First Lady owns a business. She's been in the travel business for over 20 years. And being the First Lady doesn't stop her from continuing her business. So your ticket can either be booked by STP Tours or by Mr. Voyage. Mr. Voyage is the travel agency of the First Lady. And Abby, before you came in, I was just sharing that 2 days ago, someone knocked at the door, and I opened the door, and in front of me is the First Lady just stopping by to say hello. And you wonder in which country people
What
do that.
happened?
Last night we were out after an event. We were just driving about, and next to the airport there was a couple that was walking by, and Dr. Maria Das never said, "Oh, that's our former prime minister walking by with his wife." I mean,
Wow. That just goes to show me that the people of South Sudan are really humble. They're really humble people, which is quite
yes,
rare to find
yes,
here.
talking about humility. Yes, that's it. So, so if you're coming to Sao Tome, we help you book your ticket. The 2 travel agencies, they book your ticket for you. You just need to let us know. Um, and whether you're coming through our retreat or just wanting to come to Sao Tome and you're struggling to book your ticket, we can organize the booking for you very quickly. And so when you're on sport, we don't have Uber here. We don't have McDonald's. We don't have Kentucky Fried Chicken. We don't have all those, fast food chains. Not even Nando's. So if you're here, we have identified people who can do the transfer, whether we're going on excursions or whatever it is that we're doing. We do it organically. It's organic, so it's people that you know, and you get them, and they take you to A, and they bring you back. So that's so far to transport. The ocean is wide, so there are no big boats here that you can do a tour in the ocean, but there are motorboats that allow you to go. There are tiny islands also in Sao Tome and in Principe. So you use the motorboats the motorboats to get to go to the small islands. There's one that is very, very interesting. It's very tiny. It's where the line of the equator is the place that is the on Earth that is the closest to the place on Earth that is the closest to the, how do you call it, to the other planets I have to have. And so when you get on the island, you're like, you're like really standing on that line of the equator where the Earth meets, and it's incredible to be there. And so one of the resorts that we're using, which is Eco Lodge Inyama, Praia Inyama, is just 20 minutes by boat away from that island, and you can just go there and just spend a day. It's incredible. So that's so far to transport. More when you book, then we give you more detailed information. We can answer your questions in detail as well. And yes, was there another question pertaining to that we aligned on that number 4? I be that I haven't touched on now.
Um, we've talked about transportation. So basically, the activities that would be taking place.
Yes, the activities, I mentioned that already. We have, like you have your morning time, but we have those workshops that really help you to declutter, to let go of whatever it is that you're carrying. Sometimes we carry baggage and we're not even aware of. So being on a retreat where with other women, like-minded women, and it really allows us to, someone gives you the permission to let go of something that you no longer need or that is bothering you, and just sharing among women is something that is so important. It's so important. We learn from everybody. And besides that, we have a lot of time. You can have your solo time on the beach. We can go for excursions in the rainforest. We can cook our own food every now and then, but we also have food served by the resorts that we choose to be in. And we can play music, we can play games, we can just sit around and not do anything. It's all of that. The package entails all of that. And of course, if you want to meet some great people, like again, you can meet just anyone anywhere, and we
Yeah.
can invite some people, and they will come. People are just so nice, and when they see that you're coming from abroad, they put in an extra effort to welcome you to their country. And it's just amazing. It's just amazing. So that's the program. We have a program that we offer, but we also have a flexible space where people can do individual things. And of course, we have a tour through the city of Sao Tome, where you can see the historical city, see all the colonial buildings, but also see what is going on here, and go to the market and meet some people. So all of that is in the package, depending on the package that you book.
Great. What about the COVID protocols? Like, do you have to be vaccinated before you come into South Tome?
Well, again, you're coming from somewhere, and I
Yeah.
don't know any airport in the world now that you can board a flight without the vaccination. So just like you have to be vaccinated before you leave your country. Sao Tome checks your vaccination card. So when you get at the airport, if you're coming, you need to have at least your two vaccinations, and you need to do the PCR test. It has to be not so from your point of departure. It should not be older than 72 hours. So when you get here, you will have to present those two: your vaccination, the proof of vaccination, and your PCR test, and then you have access to the country.
Okay. Interesting. That's great. And are
So
people? Did we talk about the language already? With
the language here is Portuguese, but again, this country keeps surprising me. It surprises me every single day that I go out. So I'm trying to learn Portuguese. It's not, I mean, I learned German when I was 25. It was easier. Now it's like my head is full of all kinds of things. So it's a little bit tougher to learn that language. It's an interesting language though. But outside, you always meet someone who speaks French or someone who speaks English. It's very interesting. The elderly people speak French, and the younger generation speak English. There are a couple of language schools, English language schools on the island. And one of our partner here in Sao Tome, he's the ultimate language teacher, Mr. Lawrence Mbote. He teaches English to everyone. Everyone who comes to Sao Tome, the diplomats, the business people, the government members of government. He teaches English, and so English is becoming also very, very interesting here. There's one thing that I want people to know about Sao Tome is the people here are extremely educated. Almost every minister has a doctorate degree. They're extremely
wow,
educated, and in spite of that, they're so humble, so down to earth, so welcoming, and so friendly.
wow. I feel
And
like
I
being
mean,
there.
there's one thing. There's one thing. Security. In South Africa, I love that country. It's a country that gave me my creativity. But one of my biggest challenge was that you can't really walk out as a woman in the evening, not, and you have to always be careful of your handbag and that. I don't
Hmm.
want to say there is no crime here, but I walk around in the evenings. I go with my phone. I use my phone as my touch, and I don't have any fears that anyone can kind of take away something from me. I go to the beach and I leave my stuff and I get into the water, and you're not afraid that someone can come pick your stuff, like is the case in some places. I don't want to say it's everywhere, but in some places there are those fears that there's not much security. And also, the country is surrounded by the ocean.
People can't really run.
Except
Right.
people are pirate. I don't know. Almost everyone knows everyone, and so the
Yeah,
level of security is very high on the island.
great. Awesome, awesome. Wow. It's amazing to know that such a place is actually on the African continent. It's really something.
Well, Abby, our continent is very rich. I want to remind you that we have 55
Yeah.
sovereign states on this continent. And sometimes we judge the continent based on the little knowledge that we know from
Mhm.
our country, and we don't even
Yeah.
know all of our country, probably not even all of our towns. So this country is incredibly diverse. We this a continent, I mean to say, we have 6 islands on the continent, and and these islands, they're so unique in themselves, and just like the countries are. So I would really encourage us to be curious about this continent and to try
Yeah.
to not ba- not pass judgment based on what we hear, but rather to do our own research. And I bet you'll be really, really surprised about what you didn't know about Africa that will make you, that when you know, will give you an incredible proud sense of identity.
Amazing. Yeah. And just in case people wanted to know the islands we have in Africa, you could look at the Follow Me to Sao Tome logo. You'd see them placed.
Absolutely, Abby took time to place all those islands in there. They're
I
private; they
think,
don't see them, and that
yeah.
could be a good game. Go to the logo with your children, with your colleagues. Make that a game and try to
Yeah.
see how challenge yourself and see if you can find the names of the islands.
Islands,
Find the
exactly.
location of the islands. Abby, let's make it easy. So we give them the names of the 6 islands, and then you go
Yeah.
see where you can find where each one is. So there
Yeah.
is Cape Verde, there is Sao Tome and Principe, which is a double island. It's a twin island. Sao Tome is the bigger island, and Principe is the smaller one. There is Comoros, there is Seychelles, which is the smallest country in Africa. There is Madagascar and Mauritius.
Mm, yeah.
So some people may be thinking Zanzibar. Zanzibar is inside of Tanzania. So it's an
Tanzania.
island, but it belongs to the country Tanzania of Tanzania.
Tanzania.
Yes.
Wow. There's so much to learn about Africa, and this could just be the starting point. These retreats in Sao Tome and Principe, it's just amazing. There's so much about this continent. Really
Yes.
amazing.
Yes. And you just need to read the Follow Me the Globuntu books. I know my
Yeah.
Africa from A to Z, the Africa for Smart Kids books, and you just learn a whole lot about this incredible continent. So,
Amazing.
Abby, there was something about the visa. Some
Yeah.
visas, I don't know which country you may be coming from. Most countries, most passport, you get your visa at the airport when you arrive. So you just present your passport and you pay your visa fees, and then you get in. Holders of some passports, they get 15 days free visa entry. But other passport, again, not knowing which, who is online, who is listening to this, I just encourage you to go check, do some research online to see if your passport is eligible for a free 15 days entry or not. And if you're in the country, it's very easy to prolong your visa. If you have to stay in longer, it's very easy to go to the migration office and prolong your visa. So it's not as complicated as it is in some countries that I know.
But so they offer visa on arrival for some people.
Yes, countries that do not have Sao Tome
Embassy.
embassies or embassies, yeah, you get your visa on arrival.
Okay. Hmm.
And again, if you're coming on our retreat, we arrange all of that for you. So you don't have to go through the juggles of booking your ticket or arranging for your visa. We take that on us and we arrange all of that for you using our local partners.
Nice. What are the mobile networks like? People coming, they get a SIM card. What sort
That
of
is
network do they have?
That's a very important question. This is an island. For me, my MTN SIM card from South Africa hasn't worked. There is no signal. So I have a Sao Tome SIM card. But for the SIM card that you use for your WhatsApp, or internet works. Just for the
Mm-hmm.
cause, it may not be. But if you're coming for a retreat, it's actually very good that people should not reach you all the time as if you were at home. So it actually turns out for me to become an advantage for the retreat because you can really have your peace of mind. And again, people can reach you on WhatsApp, people can reach you on your social media handles, and that's nothing. The internet works perfectly well here. Every now and then we have power outages, sometimes in the night, but you have that in almost all the countries, and that's not a big issue compared
Mm.
to the serenity and the peace of mind and the inner work that you can do here. That quietness.
Great. Wow. Amazing.
So this is like what the retreats are about. I do not want to over exhaust this call because we're having a series of calls.
Mm.
I want to make it a duty to have this call type of calls every Friday so we can talk more, not just on the retreat, but on the country Sao Tome. Why do I keep saying South Africa? It's still in me. 7 years doesn't go away
Yeah.
in 30 days. So
So,
we can talk more about Sao Tome, and there will be moments when I will be inviting some of our partners and some of our friends in Sao Tome to come here and share with you about their country. And you want to watch out for the things that are coming up. If you've not joined the follow me to Sao Tome Facebook page, please join. Today we hit 101, so we're celebrating 101. That's a milestone. And by the
yeah.
next call, I'm hoping that we will have reached another milestone. So I'm inviting you to just Google follow me to Africa Sao Tome on Facebook, and you can join the group and you get more information and updates from there. So that said, Abby, is there any other question in your mind? Is there any other thing that you want
Um,
us to talk about?
I think we've talked about the most basic questions so that we can have but as time goes on, we'd also have more interesting things to talk about because I know there's so much about Sao Tome and Principe and people should know about. I think the major things were how to get there and what people should expect from these retreats. I know it's going to be a really amazing time, and it's really deserved with everything happening now in the world with what COVID did in 2020. People need to go on these retreats, to rediscover themselves, to take time out, and just get themselves together. So I really encourage people to go on there. I know I will be there soon. I just need to get myself together, but it's definitely something that people should do. Yeah.
Absolutely. And again, as you say, there is a lot to share about Sao Tome. Sao Tome is a very historical country. It was once used as the port of no return during colonization and the time of enslavement to it's heavy on my heart. When you think people were shipped from this island, people were
Mm.
enslaved on this island, but it's also very there's a program that we're working on to make it, an entry point for Africans in the diaspora. I mean, those of them who are in the diaspora, who for whichever reasons can't go home. But this is not for this call. There's going to be another call on that, on how the African diaspora can really, really, really feel at home in Sao Tome. That would be another call. But there's so much to share. And did you know, Sandra, that the Einstein's relativity theory was tested in Sao Tome and Principe? There's a hotel, there's a place in Principe where it was tested on the African soil, on this island. And that's just one of the highlights that we'll be talking about in the other calls, just for people to really know. This island may be small, but it holds a
Mm.
lot of world history, a lot of world history, not just African history. And so we will be sharing a lot of that. Using the motto of Dr. Maya Angelou when she said, when you learn, teach. I am on a learning mission here, on a learning journey in my next live chapter, and I will be sharing as much as possible so that we all learn at the same time, so that we can all own and drive the Africa that is our continent, so that we can appreciate it and stand tall in that legacy and be proud Africans. Because when we're proud, we drive the continent in a way that that makes us that makes the world respect us, that makes the world. When we are proud of who we are and our identity, we show up differently. And the way we show up determines how people perceive us and how they treat us, and what becomes our reality. So I'm looking forward to sharing, learning and sharing, learning and sharing, and getting you to make the experience, because again, you may hear, but hearing is different from having the experience. Have the experience. And our retreats and the other programs that we're bringing up, they will really help you to make the decision to visit Sao Tome with good intentions. We want people to visit with good intentions, because
Yes.
the one thing that we don't want to miss on this island is, the serenity, this calmness, and the humanness that you find on this island. In as much as we want people here, we want people who are good, so that we can maintain this for years and for generations to come.
Awesome. Amazing.
So that said, again, in the description box there is the information about the upcoming retreat in August. We will be setting up the other retreats and sharing in subsequent calls, open calls, and also in our newsletters and our social media handles. And please get your friend. There's nothing like having that experience with a good friend, with a family member. And by the way, people were asking, are the retreat just for women? No, we also have family retreats, because for couples that have gone through a lot of stuff, this is the perfect place where you can tune in. Just the two of you, find yourselves, and reconnect to one another. Families to come in with children, and get to reconnect with yourself. And so this island offers a whole lot, again, for people who are really interested in doing the inner work and finding themselves. And we have programs that will really help you to get the best out of these programs, to get the best out of yourself, and to go out like a new person, go out regenerated, rebooted, and ready for your next masterpiece. So that's it for today.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Miss Beatrice. Very informative.
Thank you, Abby. Thank you too. And thank you for those of you who joined. We really appreciate the comments. Dr. Alicia, I'm sending greetings to Jamaica. Your next stop is going to be Sao Tome, and we have to launch your book. We just published a book. You're an incredible author with the title Ubuntu Pedagogy. It's about Ubuntu pedagogy. Maybe we should consider launching it in Sao Tome. And Sandra, we see you. Elizabeth, we see you. And every other person that is out there, we know that you're there. And please always feel free. If you don't feel comfortable sending questions in the comment box, please inbox us, and we'll be happy to answer your questions and above all to facilitate your visit to Sao Tome. So that said, we're going to let everyone go. Go share the information, and we'll see you in the next call on Friday, when we will have our second call, and give you more information about Sao Tome and Principe. So you have a wonderful weekend. Stay safe, and stay away from COVID, and start packing your suitcases. And we're here to receive you.
Thank you. Thank you,
Thank you,
everyone.
Abby. Thank you, everyone. Goodbye. Stay safe.
Goodbye.